It's every guy's worst nightmare getting accused like that.
Can you guess what every woman's worst nightmare is?
As I was reading about the different personas, I would get a vision of sort of what I thought that person would look like, and then I tried to find an image that was similar. There were things that I did to take it out of the look of this soft pretty, because when she was doing her hits, is what I call them, it wasn't soft and pretty. After I read the script, I had pulled some images of things that were sort of inspirational, and also written some notes from things that Emerald had written in the script notes. So I had an idea of where I thought we were going, and I presented some photos and things to her, and seemed I was on target. I think there was only one small change that we made, and that was just to make the eyeliner a little bit less for when she was normal Cassie.
You want milk?
Pardon?
In your coffee?
No, but you can spit in it if you want. I deserve that.
I wanted that look to be distinctly different than everything else that she did. So I kept that very, very natural. I would use just a very sheer blush actually on the eyes, just to kind of brighten it up a little bit, and a couple coats of mascara. We did do a very natural lash on her because I didn't want it to look like, oh, she's wearing lashes, but I wanted her eyes to be brighter. And just plain lip balm that had a bit of a pink tint in it. So it was always very sheer. So I wanted her makeup as Cassie to be sort of clean and almost like a blank canvas, so that it could leave us places to go.
Good God almighty. You know, they put themselves in danger, girls like that.
After reading the script, I saw, okay, so she's very vulnerable, so I need to make this look that way. I put wet mascara on her, and while her mascara was still wet, I asked Carey to close your eyes really tight, and she did, which created, a bit of a mess. And then I took a damp brush and kind of smushed it around so that it would, really smear. And her blush, for instance, with this, I actually stamped it on, what we call stippling, because I wanted it uneven. I wanted it to look more flush than like blush, to look more like she had blood rushing to her skin from underneath. So I used that technique for the blush, and then sprayed a little Avion on her to keep some sheen on her, a little moisturizer, and just kind of, let it go from there. And then as we go further into the scene, we wanted to break it down even more. So by that time when she surprises him, ask what he's doing. It's a look that's startling. I actually named some of the looks. Like I named the one where she's in the bar with the mini dress and her hair's pulled up into the ponytail like a homemade Kardashian look.
Why do you guys have to ruin everything?
She's out trying to, catch these guys' attention who are not such lovely people. So we want to make it we want to make it sexual. We want to make it inviting, but I had to make it look like she did it herself. That was very important because otherwise it would take you out of the story. If it was too perfect to me, then it wouldn't look realistic. I purposely didn't blend the contour the way I normally would blend it so that it wasn't so perfect. I outlined the lips quite a bit more, and I used a lot of gloss, which is not what I would normally do. So just to take things out of the context of a professional artist, if this was somebody who watched some, Instagram videos or YouTube videos and was home practicing in the mirror, which actually in one scene you see her doing.
It's drawn a lot of comparisons to Joker, which last year we saw Joaquin Phoenix, but obviously this was done before that. Talk about finding the perfect red for that moment.
That scene, I knew that I wanted to have a dark red lip for that, because her persona that she was going to be going to do with that one was this grungy kind of a character. And so I knew that at that point I wanted sort of a darker lip than she'd been wearing, but I didn't want anything black, because then it felt trite. So I had picked out a deep, like a burgundy color. Sort of, you notice it's like a very deep blue red. And we didn't have clearance for, because you have to have all that stuff. So Props had some lipsticks that they had clearances for, and I went and compared the colors to what I had that I wanted to use. And so we used, my color on it at first and then kind of smeared over the other color, which was a very similar color, but she needed to have something she could use in a tube that wasn't obvious. And the color that I had it would have been very obvious what it was.
I wanted to be a doctor my whole life. Lately, I've been feeling like I might want to get back into it.
The nurse is sexy, but it's a little bit edgy. It's a little bit frightening. It's a little hard. My inspiration for that look was a blow-up doll. Blow-up dolls always have sort of like that wide-eyed and, the big mouth kind of look. And so I played to that, but I wanted it to have a little bit of an edge, a bit of darkness to it. So I used an illusion that makeup artists use sometimes to make people's eyes look bigger. I lined her lower lid liner on underneath where her natural lashes are, and then filled that in with a flesh tone pencil. So what it does is sort of creates the illusion that the white of your eye is bigger. And I used a lash on the bottom and a lash on the top, which also opens up the eye. And instead of using a red lip on that, I used a really intense fuchsia magenta type of color on her lips as opposed to the expected red, because I wanted to kind of keep along with what we've done with the pinks all along through the movie.
Well, the doctor's here.